many a Halloween film, we have seen Michael Myers break out of prison to come and terrorize the small town of Haddonfield and begin his murder spree once again. This time around, could we see Laurie Strode breaking out of prison to come after Michael? Let's get into it.
What's your favorite scary movie? Hey, man.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, I'm Pennywise the Dancing now.
Oh, Lord on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? KillJoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're giving a big old crazy theory on Halloween Ends. Now before I get into this, I'm gonna need y'all to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. Alrighty, so getting into this, I had a really good conversation with a few people on my live stream yesterday talking about Halloween Ends, and we came up with some crazy theories that I wanted to really just express and like do in a more simplified video here. So to get into this, one of the theories that we had like going back and forth and I kind of developed a little more, especially for this video, was this. Obviously, we already know that Laurie Strode is going to be bulldozing Michael's house at some point, maybe during this movie or before the events of it. And I kind of wanted to expand on that a little bit and talk about like, what if they do take that route? Because like, obviously that's already been talked about. How is that going to affect the events of this next movie? One of the big things for me is I think that maybe, well, obviously, if you bulldoze somebody's house, that's it's a massive, it's a massive crime. So I don't think Laurie Strode's getting out of that just scot-free. I think maybe she does get like arrested for this. Maybe she's even put in some kind of like mental hospital. And I'm not talking anything specifically like the prison that Michael Myers is in, like at the beginning of Halloween 2018, Halloween 1978. I think this is maybe a place it's a little easier to escape from. It's not exactly like the windows are all barred or anything. Like it's maybe it's like an option, like you can be there at your own free will kind of hospital. And maybe Laurie has been putting herself through that for the last 4 years. Maybe because Allison wants her to be there, something along those lines. It appears to many YouTubers, and myself included, that with all these set photos we've been getting of Laurie Strode, she almost looks like she's better. She almost looks like she has gone through some kind of therapy, something to really fix her mental state, opposed to where it's been in the last two films. So I really think that maybe this is going to be a key element of the movie, thinking that like maybe we actually see her overcome her trauma, see her overcome all of her baggage, and that could be where we start off our movie. But what happens is it's late October and Laurie Strode is probably having anniversary effect really bad, and maybe someone gets killed a few days beforehand by Michael Myers, who's been living in the woods or the sewer system this entire time. And we could get a report on the news where it says something along the lines of like 3 dead in Haddonfield, October 29th. And maybe she sees that on the news, breaks out. They could have this whole setup about how like she has a plan to get out just in case something like this happens. And then maybe this time around, we see Laurie Strode breaking out of like a mental hospital, prison, for example, and then she goes and fights Michael, who is already in Haddonfield. This is a parallel to, of course, what happened in the 78 movie, what happened in Halloween 2018, various other incarnations of this franchise where it's Michael breaking out of prison, going to Haddonfield. This time around, you have Laurie Strode, who is now maybe much more mentally well and decides to go and help out the town of Haddonfield, take down Michael Myers once and for all. It could be a really interesting way to start your movie off, and also to have an opening kill with it's just something that's super visceral and brutal to start this thing off. You could have a scene where, like, I pitched this theory a little bit before in the past, where you could have like a bunch of kids and they're going into the woods, and then maybe they discover where Michael Myers has been living, like maybe in a cave. Obviously, another thing I wanted to bring up is that the working title for this film when they were like shooting it in Savannah, Georgia, was Cave Dweller. So that makes you think like, okay, what does that mean? Does that have anything to do with Michael's whereabouts for the past 4 years? Because we kind of left off on a cliffhanger there. So it's up to interpretation for a lot of us Halloween fans. So I'm thinking the opening scene is kids going out into the woods. They're daring each other to go into some kind of cave. They all get killed by Michael Myers in some crazy sequence. And then maybe we cut to Laurie Strode, who is in a mental hospital now, and everything I just said gets explained to you. The reason she's there is because she was arrested. She was found to be mentally unwell by the police, and instead of going to prison, they sent her to a mental hospital. I feel like that would be a really interesting approach to take with this movie, especially because of the parallel to the past films, and to do something like this, kind of the same, but also very, very different. cards and to tell a new story like this for the final chapter of the David Gordon Green trilogy. I think it's really interesting, but what do you guys think? Obviously, that needs to be developed further. It's just a theory, no confirmation on that time, but I wanted to share it with all of you because I thought it was pretty interesting. Do you guys think that Halloween Ends will take that approach? Do you think they're going to go the route of maybe she has already gone through therapy and she's like still out in Haddonfield somewhere, and then Michael Myers returns out of the blue to start murdering again on Halloween night? Tell me what do you guys think about that in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. We are nearly at 9,000 subscribers, everybody. Let's go. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this page. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to support me on Patreon as well. I'll be posting a weekly video there for Ghostface tier patrons and above. Thank you all for watching again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. How long have you been sitting there, Michael? Ah! Ah!